Hello and welcome back to another merchandise review from White Album 2. Now today we're going to be looking at number 2, volume 2 of the official White Album 2 manga. Very cool, very excited to kind of get to look into it. So, taking a look here at the cover, again, a beautiful full color cover. This is volume 2. Again, you can check out volume 1 in one of my prior videos. You can tell I'm kind of missing one there in the background. Here we are with number 2. So, White Album 2. Again, the story and art is written by 2C=Galore. The game is by Aquaplus, and this was supervised by Fumiaki Maruto, one of the writers, the content producers for White Album 2. So, this manga has been checked by the original author, which is nice. We know it follows canon. We know that anything that is written in these is going to be canon. So it's not like they outsourced it to someone new and it's not quite as good of a story. It's the same thing. So following the theme of snow again, we have them both in a snowball fight. The typical Kazusa angry, Setsuna happy theme going on there. Now, again, we have the little mascot characters here, the turtle and bird, adorable. And then we have adorable little Koharu, and gotta love the work uniform. The work uniform, very, very cute. Goodies. I wish I could go to Goodies. It's built after the family restaurants in Japan. I think the closest thing I could think of to these in the West might be a Denny's. It's just a type of restaurant that has all different kinds of cuisine, a lot of comfort food. It's fast, it's cheap. Quality's not amazingly high, but it's not bad. So, diving in, now we have additional character profiles. Book 1, which we reviewed last time, had to do with the introductory chapter specifically. Now we're moving into the closing chapter. So, it introduces, of course, the main 3, but now we have the 3 side heroines, Koharu, Chiaki, and Mari-san, and then the side characters just as a refresher. Pretty much all Japanese manga will have the character profiles, so you're not lost. You can kind of pick it up wherever as you go. So, yeah, we pick right back up from where we left off, the super sad scene where they left Kazusa behind at the airport, and Haruki sees Setsuna. This was after the time skip in university. And so it's just super, super awkward. And we have Chiaki there like, whoa, what's going on? What was up with that? It's just so awkward. It's so weird. And I should note, compared to the first manga, this is about the size of a normal manga. So this is nowhere near as long or heavy as the previous one. So, quick flashback to the airport. Haruki holding and kissing Kazusa. So sad. It's so, so sad. And then just moving forward with their lives in university. So it does go pretty quickly. A lot of the beginning of closing chapter is just kind of depicting how depressed Haruki is these days, how he's a workaholic, how, he doesn't want to do anything else with his life. So the manga kind of moves pretty quickly through his depression there. And that's like all it focuses on for the first part of the manga is just Haruki being depressed and kind of showing how he's changed and his dynamic between his friends and everything else like that has changed. So, and of course, we have to introduce the side heroines. So the meeting with Koharu within the diner is very important here. And moving forward. Now, it is important to note that this series does not follow the side heroine routes whatsoever. So although it introduces the side heroines, it's not going to include any of the romance options for Chiaki, Koharu, or Mari-san. They are just side characters, and that's it. Of course, because canonically, White Album 2 has maybe 2 true endings, and they are not included. For most people. I love the little sleeping bag. It's so cute. So typical of overworking yourself in Japan. So it does go into detail. What I do like about the way they did the manga is they don't skip over the side heroines entirely, because a lot of those interactions do kind of feel like a side story. And yet it's really important for Haruki's growth to meet these girls, to talk to these girls. And so they do really involve them in the manga, which is good because I love the side heroines so much. So yes, they are depicted, and they are depicted well. If you missed my last video, just as a PSA for these books, although it does show like the more intense, intimate scenes, it's always going to be censored. And not just like the mosaic censoring, but like artistic censoring. Like they'll just leave an entire portion of the body kind of white, or the hair will be covering something. It's really, really well done in a way that doesn't distract you from the book or look out of place. So you never have to worry, like if you were to read this on the train, like a lot of Japanese people would want to, or in a ramen shop, you don't have to worry about, someone seeing you reading something overly explicit. So that's a good thing to this manga. So many memories, so many flashbacks. I also do like that the manga cuts down on Haruki's inner monologue a lot. Because in the games, he's having a thought and you're sitting there for 5 minutes reading about Haruki's thoughts about something. He's just so poetic that he goes on and on and on. Obviously, you can't do that in the manga, so it cuts it out. So I can see why someone might resort to the manga if they don't have a lot of time to play through these games. This is definitely a good alternative, is to read through the manga. And it's only 4 volumes long for the whole series, so really, really not bad at all. Especially if you just want to catch up on the series or just finish the series. If you recommend this to a friend, they can know the whole storyline within a day. So that's pretty nice. And it just kind of leaves off with them in the park. The scene where they had to go find Setsuna. The scene where Haruki just couldn't yell at her and wouldn't yell at her. He wouldn't treat her without kid gloves. And she got really, really mad and ended up leaving. So we have a little bit of bonus artwork. This is a foot bath. These are really, really cool. They're semi-common, especially in onsen towns in Japan. They'll have these little public foot baths, and you just sit on the side and dip your feet in. It's so nice and so relaxing. And a lot of the time they're free, so that's cool. So we get a little bit more bonus art here. This is Kazusa and Setsuna kind of dressed as different characters, is what the artist said here. He says his thanks, and then it goes on to a preview of the next works. So this goes on to the proposal scene between Haruki and Setsuna. So a lot is going to be covered in the next volume. And then contrary to the first one, this one actually had room for advertisements for other series, so different anime, different games. Specifically, I am familiar with Danganronpa, which is this one. But a lot of different things that are coming out from the same company, the GA. And then we come to the very end. So the thanks, the credits, and that is all, except for our little description, which we already know what the manga's about now. Now this one was 660 yen. Really not a bad price for a manga. So, thank you so much for joining me on this merchandise review, and I will be doing more merch reviews from White Album 2 in the future, both the rest of this series as well as other types of merchandise. So, I hope to see you there, and until then, I hope you take care. See you!